Now that we've graphed it, we're still not done with B though, because what's the question? What do they want us to do on letter B? They want us to do what? Shaylin. We have to find the rate of change, and so again, I'm going to do t-shirts and markers separately so that we can see our work. Wait a minute, there are no points. Where do you suppose you would go to get exact points on here, Gabe?
Trace.
You could trace. That is a good option, because if I trace, I can go, but here's what I want you to notice. Down here it tells you what those numbers are, and none of them are very pretty once we got past 0, 0, right? Where would we look to get super easy numbers, or what would we create to get super easy numbers if I gave you a graph? What would you create? We can do a table. I want you to notice that right above the graph button it says table in yellow. This will create the table for you. You two boys are about done. I don't want to write you up. I'm not sure that that's a good seat. Pick differently. Okay?
You told me that was tissues.
Okay. Not tissues. My penmanship's terrible. I'll agree with you. And so you have to press the second key first. Don't hold it down. Just press it and then press graph again, because that's the table. And look what happens. It gives you all of the information for you. I love the table. Anytime it wants us to get exact points, I go there, because the trace button frequently will give you this crazy long decimal place. And I am not interested in that. So here, though, you need to know what's in each spot. So X stands for what? X stands for the number of items, and Y stands for the cost. Wait a minute, which equation was in Y1? What equation was in Y1? The 5x. And so when we had 5x equals y, that's y1. y2 is this one, and y3 is this one. I frequently, when I'm looking at multiple pieces of information on my graphing calculator, mark which one's y2 and y3. You can have up to 4, so that I know which ones have the information that I'm looking for. Because we only care about what? The rate of change. Do we care about y1? Do we want to know the rate of change for that one? For letter B? No, they did that one for us in the example. We need to know about this. How do I find the rate of change for the t-shirts? What 2 points do you want to pick? Pick an easy one. Shannon. I love picking 0, 0. And? Sure. Yes. Close. It's 1 and then 10, because the X has to go first. And so you need to know that when I'm looking at a table, that's the coordinate point 0, 0. This is the coordinate point 1, 10. That's the coordinate point 2, 20. So we've been doing it on paper. Now we're going to let technology do a bunch of the grunt work for the plugging and chugging. It can do that for us, but we still have to recognize that if I have a table, I can make coordinate points. Yes, Heather? When I go on the graph and press trace, you actually have to pay attention to all the decimal points, which is why I would never do that. I would use the easy numbers on the table. Does that make sense? Sometimes it'll give you easy numbers when you press the trace key. Very frequently you get this craziness. I almost always, when I want an exact value, go to the table. Almost always. Gabe.
Actually, if you enter a number, it will give that as X and give you the respective Y.
Oh, that's outstanding. Good work out of you.
I still don't even know how to make it right. Yeah, all three of us got different things. Yeah.
Oh, because you were talking? I'm so surprised that it isn't working out for you. Huh. Oh. So, if you were all paying attention, I'd feel a little more sympathetic, right? So go to Zoom and press Standard 6. Yes?
Yeah.
And then go to Y equals and make sure it says 5x, 10x, and 2.5x.
Okay.
Graph it. Does it look just like mine? It should. You good now? Who needs to move? Because someone's going to get written up really fast. You keep talking. Not paying attention. How do you get to the table? It's in yellow. Oh, your tables are different? Ah. So let's go to table set right here. Table set's in yellow. It's above the window key. So if it's in yellow, we have to press go second table set. Let's do that. Let's have everybody's table start at 0, because mine does. And we want that point 0, 0. This little triangle is the delta, just like the change in y. This is the change in the table, how much it changes by. Let's have our table change by 1. And then we're automatically going to have it fill it in for us. Sometimes we're going to plug in numbers because we'll care about specific numbers. That's what ask means. The other one, no way. Okay? Now when you go back to table, and again, it's in yellow, so you have to do the second key first. Now yours should look like mine. Yes? Okay. Awesome. How do I find the rate of change in my t-shirts? Shaylin pulled off 2 coordinate points for us. How do we find the rate of change? The rate of change is what? Oh, Tristan. Everybody write that down on your paper. It's a change in y over the change in x. This is one of those things that 100% of you have to know 100% of the time. So put that in your memory bank. It's your ticket out the door today. The rate of change is the change in y over the change in x. That way, if Destiny picks 2 different points than what Emma does, you should still get the same number. So it doesn't matter which ones you pick. How much does y change if it goes from 0 to 10? It changes by how much? If it goes from 0 to 10, how much does it change? 10. What you could do is, if I don't know, I could do 10 take away 0. You always take the second one and subtract the first one to find the difference, but for real, we pick 0 on purpose. Please don't do that. Please know that 10 take away 0 is 10. Otherwise, I'll cry. Don't make your math teacher cry, okay? To go from 0 to 1 is how much? Thank you for 2 people that know that that's 1. Again, I could do this. I could take the second number and subtract the first one to find the difference. You can have negative numbers. We for sure can have graphs that go down, which means that this top number could be negative. What is the rate of change? Wait a minute. What does 10 stand for? 10 stands for, y stands for the cost. So it's $10 per what? T-shirt. Circle it. That is the rate of change. For the markers. Wait a minute. We can't see any points on here. What do you want to do? How do I get to Y3? Any ideas? How do I get to Y3? On my calculator, what are you going to do? Yeah, you just arrow over and it will do it for you. Okay. You will, and it keeps this X the same so that you know what the X number is. 0, 0. You know, I'm not a big fan of decimals. Are you? No. So I think I'm going to skip down and do 2 and 5. Because I don't necessarily care about decimals. Although, some people might say, but Mrs. Smith, if it's 250 every one, it's not so hard because you're dividing by 1. Either way. Sometimes it won't be nice and easy, this one. Some people say, I'm just going to do whole numbers and then do the math. To be honest, if it's 250 per one thing, that's not hard math either. Okay, so we've sometimes avoided decimals. In this case, there's no need. So my points are 0, 0, and I'm going to pick 1 and 2.5. But we typed in 2.50. Why does it just say 2.5? Do you know? Gabe? They don't. Does the calculator know that this is a money problem? No. So they don't add on zeros. So your brain still is required every time we use calculators. Every once in a while, I'll get some 8th graders like, oh, we get to use calculators, bam, and they think that means their brain gets a vacation. No, no, no. No, no, no. Never, ever. Okay? What is the rate of change? Ooh, everybody's hand should go up. The rate of change is? What is the rate of change, everyone? It's the... That was not very convincing. The rate of change is the?
Change in y over change in x.
One more time. It's the?
Change in y over change in x.
Good. You all have to know. And so, to go from 0 to 2.5 is 2.5. From 0 to 1 is 1. What are my labels? What are my labels? What does Y stand for? Y stands for the? Dollars. Oh, wait, we don't even know about dollars. It's $2 and... If you write 2.5 here, you're wrong, because it's 2, Heather, you have to have 2 decimal places per one what? Per one marker. It's an expensive marker.